we're just gonna we're going to like introduce ourselves, and then have you guys introduce yourselves. Okay?
Yep.
Brandon, are you set?
Yeah, I'm set. We're live.
Okay.
Oh, here
Oh
we go.
boy.
Oh boy.
Okay, I guess.
So fast.
I know, right? Seriously.
Now we're all scared.
So
I know we're all trigger shy now.
yeah. I don't know if I should say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, because whenever
just
people
hello,
listen to
listeners.
hello listeners.
Yes, hello, listeners.
Hello, listeners. Welcome to another wonderful episode of the Kuilei Courageous Conversations. I am Sheldon, one of the, what is my title? I don't know. Person.
Pigeon to the max reader.
Pigeon to the max reader at
Pigeon
Kapi
to the
Olani
max reader.
Community College.
And I'm Alfie Gonzalez. I work with Sheldon. I guess I read the abridged version of Pigeon to the Max.
I have the 25th, what is it? I have the 25th anniversary edition. I feel so lucky. Anyway,
25 years. Wow, 25 years. Oh my
you should
gosh.
see the drawings in Pigeon to the Max. Sorry, Tifanny and Brandon, I'll get you to in a sec, but they have these drawings of these middle comb, very 80s drawing. And so as I'm reading through the pages, it's another painful reminder of how old I am. And so when I do, when I process applications, I think with Tiffany and Brandon, when I'm punching in you guys' birth dates, that makes me feel old. So the students that are coming in now, I think their birth dates are like 2002, I want to say. And that just makes,
oh my gosh.
That just makes
Oh my gosh.
sad.
So what were you doing in 2002, Sheldon?
Okay, so on to the next question. Anyway, we're Alf and I are super excited to have like an all-star interview panel today. We have Romyn Sabatchi from Office of Student Activities. We've got Tifanny. Sorry if I kill your name, Tifanny Kaya Ding. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Pretty
close. As close as it's gonna get.
I'm so sorry. And then we got Brandon
good.
Lau. So if maybe we'll start with Romyn, if you could introduce yourself and maybe share a little bit about your educational background, where you started your whole post-secondary employment, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. My whole professional journey.
Your whole professional journey.
Yeah, we have an hour, so it's all G. So.
Hi, I'm Romyn Sabatchi. I'm the director of student life right now. And educational journey. Okay, so I went to the University of San Diego for my undergrad, and I actually got a business degree because I wanted to work in the nonprofit sector, but we didn't have a nonprofit degree. So I figured, some of the similar type of concepts. And then after that, tried to find nonprofit work. It was really hard. And then I ended up going to grad school at the University of San Francisco for higher education and student affairs. And that's that's how I'm where I'm at now. I worked at USF. I did orientation for my grad internships. I did orientation, first year experience for 2 years. And then right after that, I worked in another student activities office at San Jose State University. And then came here to Hawaii and worked at Chaminade as an academic advisor. So also very different, but realized that I really miss student activities. So I came back.
Nice. We're happy that you're here.
Very happy to have you here.
Tifanny, tell us about yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Tifanny.
And how do you say your last name right?
Kaya Ding.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty close, Sheldon. You're pretty close.
Yeah. You there. This is my last semester at KCC, class of 2020.
Yay!
Crying emoji. But it's all good. I'm a hospitality and tourism major. I'm originally from the island of Saipan, so that's like near Guam in the Pacific. So I came here like 2 years ago for college, and that was my first time actually coming to Hawaii. Didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I made it. I'm still here, so woo!
Yay!
Yeah.
Right on.
I am the secretary to the Board of Student Activities here at KCC. And yeah, I'm going to be talking about events that's happening and why are we doing them and all the cool stuff.
Right on. Brandon, how about you?
not much about me. I never really done anything.
Everything.
And we are live.
Yeah.
Brandon, you have a story to tell. Tell it.
Yeah.
I was born here in Oahu, Palolo.
Mhm.
Grew up in that neighborhood.
All right.
But I don't really consider myself a local.
Oh.
Yeah, because I don't even know what's like beyond like the like Ala Moana. I've only been around that part. So
All good.
yeah. But my dad, he travels around the island and he tells me about it. But yeah, I've never really gotten into like doing that kind of stuff. I've never even seen like dope plantation and all that.
Hmm.
So yeah.
So what degree are you pursuing? Or what, I think you might have completed some.
No, I'm like on my last year, I think,
Mhm.
for my associates in IT. Yeah.
IT. Okay.
And what's your role at BOSA?
I work at OSA, but
Or OSA, sorry.
yeah. I don't know. We do everything here at OSA. Yeah, like ID making and stuff.
Mhm.
I initially thought it was like that kind of stuff, but you know, here I am on a podcast.
We tricked you.
Same.
Right. And you're streaming us live on Twitch,
And
right?
yes,
So,
yes.
Yeah,
there
there
you
are
go.
people in the chat, but I don't think you should read what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Hi, chat.
Oh no. Okay, yeah. What I don't know we'll
That's
go.
fine.
Don't open it.
Okay, so what brought us here today, because what I learned is all of you in student activities are doing just amazing things, especially in our current state. I mean, we are in lockdown, campus is closed, we have to practice social distancing, all that stuff that sort of is against coming together as a group. But yet, it seems like the charge of student activities is to bring everyone together. And, you know, one would assume that if something as large as this would sort of break everything up and just put a pause on everything. But it sounds to me that for student activities, that's not the case. So if you guys could share what you guys have been doing and just all that stuff, because it seems like COVID or not, it's full speed ahead. So if you don't mind sharing your journey on what got you folks to this point.
Okay, so it was really funny because we were talking about it the week before we actually went into lockdown, is of the possibility of like completely going online and stuff, and we were all like, you know, skeptical about it. It's not gonna happen, but we were all just like keeping it in the back of our head, just thinking, what are we gonna do and all that, until the point where it actually happened, and we were all like, oh, so this is real now. And from that point, we were just kind of like, let's just like take a break for a minute and just kind of like, because a lot of things were happening at once. You know, classes were going to be online. Our jobs were going to be affected outside of school. We had to be in lockdown in our homes. So before we even started planning events, we kind of made sure the team itself, we were all situated with this whole situation. So we kind of did a check-in to see where everyone was at outside of school, so in their homes, financially, and just like moving forward, like how do you feel about the situation and stuff. Once we got all those things settled, we were like, okay, so now what's gonna happen, like, because everything we had planned prior to COVID was all gonna be kind of dunked into the trash can. We're like, okay, now we need a new plan. So we kind of all just came together, like, what are some ideas we can do and all that stuff. So we had like a few things, but we knew everything was going to be online. And so we had to like kind of figure out some ways to do that. And then the first thing that came about was the video game tournaments that we do, because you can do that online easily. And it was just like something that the team kind of started off with Brandon and our vice chair Cass. They kind of like planning that anyways. So it started with that, and then from there on we were like, okay, so we can do events online, and it can function pretty well, because that event kind of like, there was a lot of people coming in, and there was like just people like having fun, and we were just like, okay, this is a good start, and then we just started planning out from there. So it was a lot of just like, okay, what are people gonna want to do, and what are some things that they've been doing outside that we can probably bring into their homes and stuff. So there's a lot of things that kind of went into play on that. And when we finally got down to the final list of events we were working on, it's like, hey, we kind of outlined it for the rest of the month of April. That was like our first goal, see if we can fill up April as much as we can. And it kind of like flowed from there. And aside from all this event stuff, we're also doing recruiting, and it's like all these other things, moving parts at once. We're just kind of like, okay, like, are we satisfied with this kind of moving forward? So really it was like very confusing for us, because we thought maybe we shouldn't do events like online or whatever, because everyone's going to be online. We're all going to be like sick and tired of our computer screens, where push comes to shove, now everyone is on their phones. You see everyone online on Instagram, and like you see people like just constantly saying, oh, I'm bored of my house, like there's nothing to do. And we're just like, okay, maybe there's a way to give students something to do. And that's where okay, let's figure something out. And that's where we're here, and we figured some stuff out. So yeah.
So you mentioned like about potentially dumping all the activities. It seemed like there's a slight tone of discouragement, but it seemed like only brief. And it appears there was that moment of like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And you just move forward. So can you tell me more about that?
So like the moment of discouragement, because I think everyone in the team, we're all like socialites, or like we need that face-to-face interaction.
Yeah.
So everyone in the team, we're like so used to that. And then the thought of doing everything through a computer screen didn't seem right. There's no human connection there. And that's why we're all like, oh man, like events are gonna feel the same. You know, we're not gonna be able to see the people coming in, then actually telling us straight up, oh, thanks for having this event and all that stuff. So at the time, it felt like it's like we're not gonna be doing our jobs anymore, you know, or like we're not gonna provide the same level of like that emotional impact to the students anymore. So we all kind of thought, oh, you know, it's all gone and stuff. And especially with most of us in our team were like graduating and stuff, and then that whole thing of commencement being canceled and like all those milestones that we were supposed to do but we're not going to do, it kind of played into the role of all it was just us feeling bad about ourselves and the whole situation. But the turnaround really was like after we had that time off to think and like get situated with the whole situation, it helped everyone just kind of think like more past that and be like, okay, what can we do to make the most of the rest of the spring semester? Because we were all like, we want to do something, but we don't know what it is yet. So that time really in between the initial, like the actual school closure to planning stage was like an opportunity for everyone to just, okay, what can we do? Like it was like a grieving moment, and now it's like recovery, and now it's like, okay, we got this kind of thing.
Nice.
So I think Sheldon, Romyn, and myself have been involved in so many meetings, you know, in terms of where do we go from here? We're in this new norm in terms of not physically being on campus. You know, we have all these meetings that talk about instructional support. You know, we're going to get these students this classroom setting. And I think what kind of fell on the back burner is the co-curricular side. You know, it's the stuff that you guys do, you know, this new norm for whether it's activities, Congress, and publication. So, you know, kudos to you, and we really appreciate what you're doing for the students. And I really appreciate you're kind of making the most of the situation. So as a team, like, how did you come up with which activities to do? And you said you have stuff planned till May. Do you mind elaborating a little bit more on what events do you have going until the end of the semester? Sorry, I asked a lot of questions in that, huh?
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah.
I can talk about some of the events that we're planning. So
cool.
one of which kind of the main thing that kind of started this whole spiel was like another video game tournament. So in collaboration with the Office of Student Activities, so like Brandon and our team at BOSO, they're planning to do a Call of Duty Warzone tournament, which is like the latest Call of Duty game, which is similar to like Fortnite and all those battle arena kind of stuff. So they're planning on doing that on April 17th, Friday, from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And it's going to be like a kind of like a tournament style live stream on Twitch. So you can actually, so we're gonna send out an email that's gonna list all of the events to all the students, and there's like a link there to sign up. There's a little cute Google form, and you can also just, if you don't want to like play the game, there's also a Discord server where you can kind of like chat with all these other guys, and even watch it on live stream, like what we're doing right now with Brandon. So that's pretty cool. And every Friday from April 17th to May 1st, we're planning on doing a movie live stream. So using the tool provided by the library, Kapi, after scrolling through, there are some movies there that was pretty interesting, and we're going to be doing a movie live stream of a couple. So for this Friday, we have the short film The Orchestra and the movie Adventures in Public School. So we're going to be showing some movies there from Kapi. So this can give like students like, oh, there's these other resources that the school is providing for like entertainment purposes and stuff like that. So that's going to be April 17th once again from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. The streaming service there will also be on Twitch at KapCCBosa. So that's KAPCCBOSA on Twitch as well. And you know, that's all. For planning to do something on Instagram. So what we found that social media is something that almost everyone's on, especially now in quarantine with those downtimes in between classes and afterwards. So we decided to kind of take advantage of that. So on Instagram, we're planning to do a event from April 17th to April 19th about making masks, because that's kind of something that everyone's been doing now, grabbing like an old shirt, sewing it in together, and making some protective material for your mouth and stuff. So essentially it's like a post, tag a picture with your mask on that you made, and then share it with us on Instagram at KCCBosa. That's at symbol KCCBOSA. And then there you can like kind of enter your content in a contest, and from there the board will like vote on which is the most creative and the most protective. This would also include public votes, so like liking a person's image and stuff like that. And then on April 24th, yeah, it's a lot of events. For 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., we're gonna have a Kahoot tournament. So the good old Kahoot tournament style. And this is gonna be like the topics of TV shows, movies, most pop culture, including mangas and novels. So there we'll just like post it on our Instagram, and then you just follow the link through, and it's like prompts you into the whole Kahoot classroom, is what you call it. And then again, we have a movie live stream for Friday, April 24th for another movie called A Street Cat Named Bob. So it's more of like a feel-good movie about a cat. And on May 1st, May Day, we have another movie live stream, A Letter to Momo. So all the way till May 1st is what we have events planned so far. So we are planning to do a little bit more, but we're also trying to take into account of finals and the time students would need to like, you know, study and all that. So we're just gonna see what from here on, once we like there's like some good traction, we'll just like monitor when finals is happening and how students will be doing their finals. Then we'll like see if planning an event will work best, or is it gonna be like a little too much for students to kind of focus on at once.
So you mentioned the video game tournaments, and there was one back in March for League of Legends. That seemed to be like another major turning point. And again, among the list of cool things you guys have been doing. So Brandon, if you don't mind sharing how that developed and how you launched that one.
Yeah, sure. So it was actually pretty like out of the like ordinary. So like COVID just started. We got like the email about like not coming to class, like, you know, school's closed, and then we had to do something for our tournament that was coming up because it was in person. Do you guys hear the garbage truck, by the way?
It's totally fine, but it's totally fine.
Okay. Oh geez. So like yeah, it was in person for the tournament, and someone mentioned something about like having online interaction and stuff, and I was like, oh, you know, I can just move it online.
Mm-hmm.
And like the whole entire time I was like working there, I've always wanted to like started like a computer center on campus,
Hmm.
and like it was kind of hard to set that up because like buying all the computers and everything, it's pretty costly, and like setting it all up, it's just gonna be humbug, and I don't think we can do it all in one semester. So I'm like, you know, might as well just like bring it to the people.
Mm-hmm.
They can like play on their own computers. Um,
So you were thinking about designing some kind of like battle arena or something.
no, it was just like, you know, internet cafes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like that. People just come in and like they hop on the computers and play. But yeah, we were really we couldn't get that done, so I was like, yeah, that's where the idea came from.
Mm-hmm.
Have people like use their own computers and like connect through the internet and stuff. Yeah.
So with some of the challenges you were facing, it sounds like you just turned it around. Um, what was the outcome of that?
The outcome of what? Sorry.
The tournament. So what was the show rate? Like how many students signed up for your tournament?
Oh, okay, yeah. So for that, we didn't really get um like advertising out that much.
Mm-hmm.
But we did manage to like squeeze in like 2 teams. So yeah, I'm pretty grateful for that. Um,
Because this was the first of its kind, right? For
it,
KCC.
yeah, I think so. I've never seen anything like it when during my time there. Maybe in the past, but yeah, like 10 people showed up. There was a lot more who showed up, but like people or a lot more who signed up, but they didn't show up.
Mm.
But yeah, so yeah.
And these were students not only from KCC.
Yeah, they're from like HCC, the Manoa. I think Leeward had some. Yeah.
Wow. And so what were some of the reactions you got after the tournament was over? What were some of the feedback from the participants?
Some critical, some complimentary. uh, I really appreciate the critical feedback though.
Oh.
Um, yeah, like since it was like very last minute and stuff. Well, not really last minute, but like people didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like we had to like piece together teams and stuff. So like one of the teams were kind of like one-sided.
Oh.
So yeah, like and then like one of the feedback that I got was to just shuffle teams if that ever happens again,
Mm-hmm.
which I do agree. Like I should have done that, but I didn't think about it because one of the teams that signed up, they bring their like friends and stuff
Mm-hmm.
and made it a pre-made, and I thought it was unfair to like split them up because they, you know, they entered as a team, so I wanted to give them that right.
Mm-hmm.
But to make it more fair, um, I, you know, I should have just shuffled it.
But it seems like you're kind of learning as you go. I mean, this is a first attempt, and
Mm-hmm.
to go from having nothing on the table to this thing, and now you're on to Call of Duty Warzone. I mean, you're doing a second one. That's pretty amazing.
Yep.
So tell me more about the Warzone tournament.
So it kind of like I based it off like the feedback. So like with Warzone, it's like a lot more what you would call it, like more fair, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people get to like um perform at their own like abilities, and like they have like no one else to like, you know, blame. uh and it's a lot more popular now, so I think a lot more people will will join it.
Mm-hmm.
Because with the League of Legends one, it's like it's popular, but it's not like the talk of the street. You know what I mean?
I mean,
It's
I got
interesting
it.
though because they made UH News though. This video game tournament actually made UH News because it ended up being like a system-wide tournament, you know. So that was pretty cool. Sorry, Sheldon, you had something?
No, I was gonna say as a non-gamer, like I don't know much about League of Legends, but yes, Call of Duty is a term I would say like a large portion of people know, but that's cool. It's cool that it made UH news.